Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. And 360 cameras have been getting more and more popular lately, so I figured we should check one out. This is the new PanoX V2 360 pocket camera, which can capture all the way up to 12K resolution. Big thanks to PanoX for sponsoring this video and sending this over, including a couple extras like a lens cap and even a selfie stick for us to check out. Now, I actually am going to have a lot of fun trying this out. We're going to get outside, maybe go to a tree farm, and get some real world shots with this 360 camera. To begin, we're going to take a quick look at what comes in the box, get it all set up and ready to go, and then do some testing. Let's get started. And here it is, the new V2 from PanoX. On the left side here, you'll see 12K 360 pocket camera with all the features, 3-inch touchscreen, and even a 1/2-inch sensor. So expecting some really good quality out of this camera. Opening it up, right away looks like we have our camera protected by some styrofoam. Let's take it out of the box. And just a quick look at the PanoX V2. We'll set that to the side. Inside the box, you have a USB Type-A to USB Type-C cable to charge your camera, plus an included case, which is really nice because I'm going to be taking this on the go a lot, so I will want to protect it when I put it in a backpack. You also get your standard booklets plus a microfiber cloth to clean both the lenses, peeling off the plastic on the front screen and both of the lenses. Taking a closer look, on the left side, you've got a micro SD card slot, which is great for transferring and storing media, USB Type-C port for charging, and some ventilation. And down at the bottom, it's threaded, which is great, so you can put it on a tripod or even a selfie stick. On the right side is where that speaker is, which is super useful to listen to your recordings, plus a power button there. Nothing at the top, but it does have a lot of grip to it, so when you're holding onto it, it's not going to slip. So on the back, there's one of our camera lenses. You'll also notice a microphone there, some PanoX V2 branding. And on the front, again, the lens plus a microphone and that 3-inch display. Let's turn it on for the first time and get everything set up. So I'm gonna run through the startup process and just talk about anything that's noteworthy. Highly recommend downloading the PanoX app, which is a companion app for the camera itself. It'll allow you to control it, edit videos, and more. So we are all set up and ready to go, and swiping down will get you to some quick shortcuts. You can also jump into settings, connect it to Wi-Fi, use Bluetooth. Quickly going through the different modes, photo, video, and live streaming. Yes, you can live stream with this camera as well, but video, you have 360 vlog. You can even shoot a flat video if you'd like to, smart tracking, time lapse. In photo mode, you have a lot of different options. You can set a specific timer, change the resolution between 12K and 5.7K. That's great to see. And also the file format. Going to 360 video, you can change the format of that, plus the resolution, all the way up to 8K, 10 frames a second, but 5.7K, 30 frames a second. You can have fixed or follow your subject. And just a quick look at that lens cap, really easy to set on top of it to help protect your lenses. And the selfie stick, really easy to use. Again, you can just screw it to the bottom of your camera and then loosen it and extend it all the way out. And with a 360 camera, it's not going to see the stick itself. So now that we're all set up and ready to go, the first thing I noticed when shooting with the PanoX V2 is how stable it is. Even if you're just out walking, capturing an action shot on a skateboard or a bike, it's crazy how stable everything stays in that 360 since it's capturing your whole world. Flipping it up and down keeps the shot really stable and smooth. So let's get outside and actually test out the PanoX V2. I'm going to connect it to the selfie stick and get going. The first feature I'd like to look at is 360-degree photos, especially with the dynamic range and using HDR. So I want to show you what the viewfinder looks like on the actual camera itself. And first of all, look at that blinding light. I made sure to pick a really nice sunny day to test out that HDR, and it is a 360 photo, so you can see everything around me. And surprisingly, the dynamic range on my face, even though that light was so harsh, it actually turned out really good, and the cloud detail is really solid. We'll take a look at a picture on a phone with a little bit more detail in just a second, but nice, you can really review your shot. If you tap the screen, you can delete it or go back and scroll through your different media. It labels what is what. You also can view all of the media on your phone. So this is a 12K shot. So this is all the way zoomed out. You can see the full world, but you can also zoom in and take a look at a little bit more detail. Again, really harsh sunlight, so that dynamic range is doing a really good job. Even on my face there, you'll see, you can still see the details of everything on my face. So really well done with the HDR. A couple options are changing the aspect ratio of the picture when you export it. You can have it be flat all the way up to that 8K resolution, or you can export in that 12K panorama version as well, and then pressing the three dots just gives you the file info. And I know I mentioned the stabilization. Check this out. I had exported it from both lenses, so one on each side. I was able to edit it. We'll talk about that in just a second, but you can see both points of view. It's just so much fun to use. One of the really great things about the app is the keyframe editing you can do. So let's get on to some 360 video option that I just showed you, but here's some more options. So within the app, you can look all the way around while it's moving, really smooth. Love to see that. We're on a tractor right now, but keyframes is the big thing. So yes, you can cut and edit the video, but you'll see here, maybe you want it to point at something at a specific time. So while I'm editing, here, I've made some keyframes in this specific video. So while, we're riding along on the tractor, let's switch the keyframe. You'll see the camera angles moving. I'm not doing that right now. So it is rotating. You can see the back of it. Let's go. There's the dynamic range from the sun. And now we can see the front of the tractor. So I had edited this video all the way so it will change the view. So you don't have to manually do it, and then you can export the video. So now after I exported it, you'll see this is what the video looks like. So this file can be viewed and shared, and it will change the view. So it doesn't have to just be a 360. You don't have to go into the app. You can keyframe which lens and what you're looking at. One more fun little example, I had the camera down towards the ground on the selfie stick, and then I moved it up. And look at that smooth transition, but why don't we take a look at it from a different angle? So here is me attempting to, capture the shot. Again, I'm holding it at a lower angle, and then I move it up. So it's just so neat. So let's say, for example, I wanted to show off the keyframe. So here we go. Let's pause here, and I'll obviously keyframe there. Let's keep going, and now pause. As I move it up, let's rotate it out and keyframe it. So hit the plus button there and hit play. So now when I go back, let's rewatch this video. Notice how easy that was, by the way. Now it's showing me, it rotates for me, and then it goes up. Just a quick little example of how that keyframe editing works. And when you do export a 360 video, you can export it flat if that's what you'd like to, all the way up to 4K, 30 frames a second, 30 megabits per second bit rate, or go over to panorama and export in that 5.7K 30 frames per second at 90 megabits per second. The time-lapse mode was also really fun to use. This was exported in the full panorama view. It comes out as a horizontal video. Now, keyframes are great, but what if you want to focus on a specific subject? And the PanoX V2 has subject tracking powered by AI. So under video, if you go over to the right, there's smart tracking right here, and it will accurately detect a subject. So here we go. There we go. Look at that. I didn't even touch it, and it found me. So if I hit record, we can start recording a subject. Maybe I have a lot of movement. Maybe I'm going to be on a bicycle. Maybe I'm going to be standing up. Look at it. Knows to kind of zoom back. What if I come in a little closer? It knows I'm in frame. What if I go a little bit to the left? All right. So you'll see, I can actually walk around. It keeps my body in frame. So if I'm maybe on a bicycle, maybe if I'm riding a skateboard, a lot of movement. So that is another really great feature. A couple more quick examples. This is another 360-degree video, just smiling in lower light, cloudy day, just taking a picture of the tree. And a very quick example of what a flat video is going to look like in case you need a quick vlog shot. I'm talking about how you can actually use the microphone within the specific PanoX V2, or you can connect via Bluetooth a wireless microphone, so you don't just have to use the internal mics, which did sound pretty decent, actually. I do want to point out the lens cap really does come in handy. You just sort of squeeze the sides. It's really easy to set on, but also the included case is fantastic, specifically because when you have it in there, you can still charge the device with the case on, so you don't have to take it out. They have a little slot there for the USB-C slot. And speaking of charging, at 18 watts, it charges that 1500 milliamp hour battery really quickly. So all in all, I've had a lot of fun using the PanoX V2. It's just a different way to capture content and makes your workflow much more creative, and you're capturing memories in a different way that you wouldn't just capture with your phone. I really love the different resolution options you have, and the HDR capture looked really good. It's also really nice, the app. When you export it, you can export it in multiple ways flat, in a 360 mode. There's just a lot of versatility within that application, and that keynote editing of a 360 video is just so cool. So anyways, that's everything I want to talk about with the PanoX V2. I will link to it down below. Be sure to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.